those days, refugee meant that they were French Protestants who had left France to come to a Protestant country in order to continue worshipping in their own way. French Protestants were also known as Huguenots.
Right.
So, if you pick up your map, you can see how close Jersey is to France.
Yeah.
The Sorel family were based in the village of Fresnes, in your little X. They were comfortably well-off merchant drapers.
Okay. What would have been the reasoning for leaving? Was there conflict between the Catholics and the Protestants? Did Fresnes become a dangerous place to live?
France was a majority Catholic country, but the Protestants have the right to worship. However, from about the 1630s, things became very difficult.
Tensions had always existed between the Catholic majority and the Protestant minority in France. But when Louis XIV came to the throne in 1643, the situation escalated further. As a devout Catholic, he believed that Protestants, known as Huguenots, were a threat to his absolute authority as monarch. He ordered the destruction of every Protestant church and passed a series of laws prohibiting Protestants from practicing their religion and forbidding them from leaving the country.
In 1685, Louis XIV said, Protestantism is outlawed, that's it. And all Protestants were forbidden from emigrating on pain of death.
Yeah. So you're trapped, basically.
They're trapped.
They couldn't leave, but if they stayed, they also would suffer an awful fate.
Yes.
So what would have happened to Jean and Marie during this time?
Both Jean and Marie were born during these years after 1685, when Protestantism was outlawed.
So how would my family have practiced their religion?
If you look at your next picture, you'll see how they would meet at night in the middle of a forest or behind a hedgerow to worship in secret.
Oh, right, just to
because it
practice
wasn't
their faith.
safe to do it anywhere else.
It blows my mind that they had to go to these lengths just to practice their religion.
And this is the original entry of the baptism of your 6 times great-grandfather, Jean Sorel Jr.
Junior, wow.
Who was born in 1735. And that is the original entry in the Catholic registers.
Catholic, which they wouldn't have done themselves because they're Protestant. So were they forced into baptising their son?
Yes, that's exactly it. The law stated that every child had to be baptised Catholic within 24 hours of being born.
Wow, and that's forced upon them?
That's forced upon them.
In 1747, the King of France issued a new law targeting the last remaining Protestant areas in France, including Normandy, where the Sorel family were living. The law gave Catholic priests the power to round up children of Protestant parents aged between 5 and 16 and place them in Catholic convents without their parents' consent.
The priest would assemble local constabulary.
Yeah.
Their favourite time was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
They would arrive with axes and break the door down and pick up the children.
Jean and Marie had 6 children during this time.
In 1747, Jean Sorel Jr. was 12.
12 years old.
So he was exactly of the age that they would have been permitted to take.
They've been through almost too much. I'd be a nervous wreck. And the children would probably be aware of it as well. Because they probably hear other houses being broken into at night, and they would have seen their friends the next morning. They're just gone. It must have been awful. It's giving me goosebumps. They're bashing down our doors with axes, trying to steal our kids. So what happened next?
Well, we have an exciting document.
List of the French Protestants that have left France for their religion and are now residing in the island of Jersey, 1750. So I'm assuming somewhere on this list, I'm going to hopefully see, oh, here we go, look. Jean Sorel, Susan Sorel, Anne Sorel, Mary Sorel, Catherine Sorel, Magdalene. So the children are all there. They made it to Jersey. But no parents?
Not yet. We
So they did
know
make
the
it.
parents made it.
Yeah.
So these children will have been smuggled out.
Wow.
They'll have travelled from Fresnes in
All
the
the
middle
way.
of Normandy. It's about 75 kilometres. And then at the coast, someone will have rowed them over to Jersey.
It's giving me goosebumps again. Just like the resilience, like they're not giving up. They are going to beat this evil situation that they've been in. And also, blooming good parents, risking their lives day in, day out for the sake of their children. Good on them. I love that happy story. What's brave in French?
Courageux.
Mon grand papa. Courageux.